Hugh Douglas, good morning.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Philadelphia. Hey, and just as a side note, I just want to let y'all know this might just be a Southern thing, but sugar does not belong on grits. Just want to put that out there.
I haven't had grits in a long time. I've had grits.
But you don't put whenever you do not put sugar on.
I think last time I had it was nasty. Shrimp and grits.
Shrimp and grits is okay.
Yeah.
It all depends on, here's the thing.
Well, grits talk.
It all depends on who's making this shrimp and grits. Everybody can't make it shrimp and grits. This is like a cultural thing, and I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's a cultural thing. Everybody can't make shrimp and grits, so if you get shrimp and grits, Joe, make sure you don't put sugar on it.
You know, I'm writing it down right now. No sugar on grits. Hugh says on 131-24. The other thing you said, everyone can't stay healthy. And unfortunately, that's Joel Embiid's story.
That's tough.
It has been, and it's been for a long time. His whole career. He just cannot, unfortunately, stay on the court, stay healthy. So last night, he's a pregame, he's a game time decision. They give it a go.
He decided to play.
Yep.
To try to gut it out.
And he's playing, and he looks, He looks. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. In this case, not beauty, whatever you want to call it, ugliness. He's hobbling.
He's a little rusty.
He looked. It's either rust or he's really hurt. Whatever it is. And then late in the game, he gets hurt worse. And now we await an MRI on Joel Embiid as Kuminga got tied up with him. Maybe a hyperextension. I'm not sure what it is. But here's where I'm at. And then we'll hear from Nick Nurse on what the heck happened last night and why he was out there. We are a week and a day from the NBA trade deadline. Next Thursday is the NBA trade deadline. And I look at the Philadelphia 76ers, and I see a team that has now fallen to fifth in the Eastern Conference. I see a star player who has been banged up, again, like he always is, for the better part of the last few weeks. And it's now maybe a tough one this time, and we'll see how long he's out.
Hopefully not.
I see a team with Tyrese Maxey, who's a really nice young player, and he probably makes the All-Star team as a reserve. But
Cookie Ball was out there balling a little bit last
He was.
week.
Tyrese is taking a nice step, but even he's slowed down the last few weeks. I don't think they have enough on this team. I don't believe this is a real contender in the Eastern Conference. And as much as, and I'm sure we'll get to some names, there are some really outrageously big names available for Daryl Morey to try to go get and to use the stuff he got in the James Harden trade. I don't want to do it. I don't think this Sixers team is worth it to go all in at the trade deadline. And Hugh, I can't trust Joel Embiid to be physically ready because he's never physically ready. I'm not going in. Hugh, did Embiid's injury change your mind about what they should do here?
Let me say this first. It's unfortunate that Joel Embiid got hurt. I mean, because the storyline that night was basically talking about them going all in and how he wanted to try to win the championship.
Yep.
With all that being said, I think they still should go all in, man. But it's all predicated on how his injury goes. Hopefully he's not hurt bad. But I feel like, if you go out there and you get the right piece, they should push it all in and go for it.
Yeah, I look at it like this, that, the offseason, they have a lot of cap space. They can make a lot of moves. They could also make a trade right now. I mean, they could trade for some big names out there. But I don't think this team's very good. I mean, I think we just have been happy they've been okay, pretty good, because we were happy they got rid of James Harden. They're fifth in the Eastern Conference. They're not better. They're not even close to Boston. Milwaukee's better. The Knicks look like they're a better team right now. What do we think them trading for something is going to push this forward, like to get out of the second round? Because I don't see it.
I think so. You know what? Before he got hurt and the way that the narrative was going last night, I feel like he was trying to position himself for a playoff run. Because, like I said, I think he's missed 12 games so far, and there's no telling how many he's going to miss with this injury that he has now. You only can miss 17 games. You only can miss 17 games.
And still win
MVP. I feel like he was trying to position himself not to win another MVP, but try to go deep in the playoffs. So that's why I feel like this team, you should push all in. If he's healthy. If this injury that he just suffered last night is not that serious, I think you should go and push all in at the trade.
And look, we can all cross our fingers it's not a major injury. The one thing I saw this morning is the Sixers' immediate thought was not super serious, but obviously headed for an MRI, and it's Joel Embiid. It's probably not nothing. I mean, last year we did this, right? It was not super serious, but he hobbled around the entire postseason. It was a thing. He had to wear the sleeve. He missed the game.
Yeah,
so
a little banged up.
Yeah, I mean, he's always banged up, and that I think it makes it challenging. Like some years the team is number 1, number 2, number 3 kind of seed. You're like, man, we got to go for it. They're the number 5 seed right now, and they're going the wrong way. 215-592-9494. Your reaction to Joel Embiid, and does it change your thought process if, what the Sixers should do here at the NBA trade deadline 1 week from today? It does for me. I can't go in on a team whose best player never could stay on the floor. And I don't think the supporting cast around him is like, what is this team? They're nice.
Scrappy.
They're scrappy. But Scrappy doesn't win NBA championships.
Scrappy did play well for Miami last year, though.
Jimmy Butler is a superstar in the playoffs.
Joel Embiid is a superstar.
In the regular season.
I didn't see. Listen, I'm not as off or out on Joel Embiid as you are. I think that he was trying to put himself and position himself to get ready for a playoff run. It's just unfortunate. Last night was an unfortunate event. Now, there are going to be some people that are going to be mad that he played, and they're going to be mad at probably Coach Nurse because he had him out there. But you can't control when injuries happen. Even though he did look real clunky throughout the whole course of the game. He looked real clunky, and he looked like he was in a little bit of pain. I applaud him for going out there, but the unfortunate thing about it is he did get hurt. And it did look like he made the injury that he was already suffering from a whole lot worse.
So let's hear from Nick Nurse, because, I think there's a lot of frustration. Why was he still on the court late in that game? I do believe that Joel is the one that calls the shots with if he plays or not a lot of the time. Here is Nick Nurse last night about what happened, and is it related to what caused him to miss the game Saturday in Denver?
Do you have anything you can share with us on Joel and his knee right now?
Yeah, so he obviously got landed on, so they're going to do an MRI tonight or tomorrow. It's kind of unrelated to what's been bothering him. So we just wait on that.
So we wait on that, and we'll, any news we get during the show today, we'll pass it along right away on Joel Embiid's knee and what this diagnosis actually is. All right, let's hear from Nurse on why he was allowed to play last night, because we all saw it. If you stayed up to watch or you just saw some of the highlights, he wasn't moving well even before he got injured last night. Here's Nurse on the medical staff.
What were the conversations in clearing him to play tonight in general, and how did he feel before that play happened? How was he feeling? How was he doing?
Yeah, so obviously medical cleared him. Joel obviously is a big part of that. He said he was feeling good. He said he's more a little rusty, and he'd been hadn't been on the court for 5 days, but he said he felt good.
See, the part there when he said Joel's a big part of that. The medical staff cleared him, but Joel's a big part of that. That frustrates me. I mean, we're talking about him trying to stay healthy for the playoffs. Does he not feel that he's hobbling up and down the court? He said he's fine, but he didn't look fine to me last night.
Well, I think in situations like that, you have to know the difference between being hurt and being injured. And I think that he was hurt last night, and he just wanted to go out there and play for his team. You know what, the thing that really kind of got me was that, you're out there, and I commended him for this, and, unfortunately got banged up, that Tyrese didn't play last night. Tyrese wasn't out there.
Yeah, ankle.
Yeah. So it was one of those things where, they go in pairs when they don't play. But Joel had to play last night, and like I said, he looked a little banged up. He looked a little slow. He looked a little off, but he was still out there. And in a situation like that, when you have a player of his caliber and he tells you he can go, you gotta let him go, man. You gotta let him go.
Yeah, but after all these years, I don't trust him with his body. I don't. I mean, he says these things, or he says I'm in, he says I'm out. I don't know. All I keep hearing is all he cares about is the playoffs, right? That's what I've heard now for 2 years. Why are you playing if you can't move on January 30th against the Warriors? I don't understand.
Yeah, that's a tough one. And then when you talk about the Warriors were leaking oil, they just got back on the right side of things last night. And to be out there, I don't know what drives a champion of his caliber.
He's not a champion.
Well, that's what I knew you were about to say that.
He's not,
and that's why I was about to say drive a Hall of Fame player the way that drives Joel Embiid. He wanted to play, man. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. This is one of those stories where I know his history does not bode him well in this situation, and I know that people are upset with him. This almost feels like he damned if he do, damned if he don't type situation.
It's his career.
Basically that's the case. But hopefully, and I got my fingers crossed, hopefully this is a situation where there's no damage, and it looks like, he probably won't even be eligible for the MVP. And hopefully that's a sign that, we get ready for the playoffs and get ready to roll. So he won't be tired and he won't be banged up for the playoffs.
Yeah, and I appreciate your view on it and the optimistic view.
Optimism.
This has been the same thing. He was drafted 1 decade ago. So much time has passed waiting for this guy to be healthy. He's never healthy. I mean, that's just the reality of it. 215-592-9494. It's not so much being mad. I'm not mad at Joel Embiid.
It's just you're frustrated.
Yeah, well,
yeah. I mean, frustrated, mad, kind of the same.
No, but I'm not mad he's hurt. I'm frustrated that he played last night because it seemed like he wasn't physically able to give the effort he needed to, and I don't think that's why he got hurt. But it added to the whole thing. And I'm out. Like, if I'm Daryl Morey, how can I trade I actually have assets for the first time in a while, right? He got stuff back for the James Harden trade. How can I cash it in now to have Joel hobble in April to help, the player I trade for in a week? I can't do it.